Something's going on with the light in here. Here I am in the van. I kind of like that, you know. I think it could become catchy. Yeah, here I am in the van. I wanted to talk to you in this video. I say in this video, this is going to be a little bit of the video, and then there'll be more video added on. But yeah, what I wanted to talk about in this video is power steering. A lot of people say to me, oh, how can you drive that car without power steering? Or, what's it like driving a car without power steering? Will I be able to drive a car without power steering? No cars had power steering back in the day, you know. Use your muscles. I haven't got any. Not really, just a bit of flab. Bingo wings in the making. So, in the van, on my lunch break, although I probably shouldn't use my van as a example, but I'm going to, because it's the only vehicle that I have available at the moment with power steering. Bloody great van. So this van weighs nearly 3 tonne. 3 tonne. I mean, I'm not sure what a P6 is, but I'm pretty sure it's less than 2 tonne. My Land Rover is 1/2 tonne, although it's probably a bit more than that because it's got hardtop on it. Yeah, so it's a heavy vehicle. If this didn't have power steering, I would look like Popeye's daughter, right? I would be eating so much spinach to drive this. I mean, my dad used to tell me stories about lorries without power steering, where you used to sort of stand up to turn it, you know? Although the steering wheel's normally sort of flat, so you to steer it. So yeah, I'm in a lay-by, I'm safe, I'm on my break. I'm just going to show you how easy, which you probably know, because if you drive already, you've probably already driven or already own a modern car, which I don't. This is my modern vehicle. It's not mine, it's the works vehicle, but it's modern, it's got power steering. So I'll just show you an example of how easy it is these days. There's no power steering because power steering on this is hydraulic. So the engine has to be running to turn the pulley, to turn the hydraulic pump, to help turn the steering. Some cars have electric power steering, so they have an electric assist. So it's an electric motor that runs on the steering, which sometimes works without the engine running, but most of the time the engine needs to be running because it draws so much power. It needs the alternator in action. So, if I tried to steer this now without the engine on, oh my goodness, it's just not happening, yeah? It's so stiff. If I was to let the handbrake off, which I'm not going to, and veer off down the hill, the steering would become lighter and I would be able to steer it. Another example is if I was to be towed. If someone was towing me with a pole, once we get going, the steering will become lighter. Okay? But at the moment, you've got no chance. So if I start the engine, now, you service your oil. Ignore that. It's due a service. Now, look at that. Shouldn't do that really, wear the tyres out. That is the palm of my hand I am steering that with. Left to right, left to right. You cannot do that with a vehicle that hasn't got power steering. That's why things like this 3-tonne van here, modern vehicles, are easier to park. Because you can line it up and you look in the mirrors and you just spin it round, spin it round, spin it round, and you're in. Easy peasy. Now I've only got one hand at the moment because the other hand was holding the camera, but we'll get into the classics in a bit because I finish soon. I'm home now. So I'm gonna go and move the car. I'm gonna start with Jessie because she's at the front. I'll stick this camera, or stick you on the window, and you can see me struggle. Okay, I'm in Jessie J, and you may fall off of the window because you're in my rubbish holder. The main reason for this video is to show you the steering. Hopefully you can see it clearly. So I don't think you can see out the window. Maybe I should mount you a bit higher. See if I can get you higher up. So you'll really come down with the crash now, won't you? If I put you up here. Okay. Not sure what you can see now. Yeah, okay, so on my driveway, and I'm going to come off the driveway in a second, and my neighbour's parked up. So the important thing to remember is not run children over. There we are. Don't run the child over. Important thing with a car without power steering is not to try and dry steer. And I do push me, pull you, like you do in your driving test. Not too bad. Now, if I was to reverse into this space, I would start moving. So, how do I explain it? If I was in my van and I want to park, I would start moving it now. But you don't, because look at me trying to move it. That is me dry steering, Jessie. That's not happening. So with a car without power steering, you move first and then manoeuvre as you move, because it makes it a lot easier. See how easy that is? Do not dry steer. So that's me reverse parking into a space. You just landed in my lap. I don't know how much more you want to see of Jessie steering there. I mean, she seems to want to throw the camera off anyway. I've got to move the Land Rover next, and I've sort of put the Rover in the way now. It's clever, isn't it? Well, that's strange. My expensive, I say expensive, but better than my other one, camera holder is actually sticking to the Land Rover window, but it will not stick to Jessie. So here's Nimlet, my Land Rover. It's only about half a ton, probably a bit more, because it's got a hard top roof. No power steering, but I can dry steer this. It is a bit heavy, but I can dry steer it, unlike the P4. But again, I would always recommend never to dry steer, because it's not good for the tyres. Always move and manoeuvre. So if you want to turn, push me, pull you is the best way. Salute at the magpie. So again, I'm going to do some real manoeuvring here, because I'm going to try and park behind my van. I absolutely hate parallel parking. Absolutely hate it in any vehicle, old or new. See me get that last little manoeuvre in before I came to a stop almost. Shut them indicators up. I reckon I can get further back here. There we are. So we're parked. That was sort of a parallel park. But as I say, the important thing with, sorry if you're shaking up there, you rattling? The important thing with driving a car without power steering is move and manoeuvre. Or manoeuvre. Move and manoeuvre. Never try and dry steer because it will feel awful. And never try and do it one-handed. Always push me, pull you, or go over and then over, and you know, there's all sorts of ways, but you certainly can't do the old palm trick. I mean, my leg row is really light on the steering and I can probably do that, but because it's a Quartic steering wheel, it doesn't feel very comfortable doing it like that, to be fair. And the P6, if I'm out in the P6 and you know, say you're turning right, sometimes I can get away with spinning it round on one hand, but normally I do push me, pull you, because it's safer, it's more comfortable, and yeah, it just works. Hey! Okay, back in Jessie again now. I'm going to go to the shop, so I'm going to see how long you can hold on up there and stay stuck on that window. Should we place bets on how long it'll stay up there? I'm going to say until the end of the road. And yes, Jessie needs a wash. Oh, I didn't bring any shopping bags. I only want some light bulbs. So I mean, you can, once you go in, you can steer with one hand. I don't want to drive like I'm drunk, but you can sort of steer with one hand. I wouldn't recommend it. Where are we going? I think I'll go to the range because they tend to have a good selection of bulbs. See, I move and then manoeuvre. Run the cyclist over. Oh, you haven't fallen off. You probably shaken around to a strange view or something. I'm keeping an eye on you. There's another cyclist to knock over. I've got nothing against cyclists. Or have I? Sorry, cyclist, but me first. Ladies first. I'm going round the roundabout. No problem. Excuse me, coffee. I must get this speedo sorted out. Holding on there, I'm impressed. I just realised I've come out without a jumper. Oh, I've got a jumper on. What am I on about? I meant a coat. I haven't come out without a coat. I've come out without a coat. I can't even get my words out. clear the screen. Let's have a go. Looks like they're smearing the screen. Oh no, it's getting clear, it's getting clear. If you're not familiar with the Rover P4, you may find that when I turn the wipers off, it's interesting. I'll turn them off, they do one final salute, and they're gone. Ta-da! It's because Rover P4 wiper arms have little rubber wheels on the arms. When you turn them off, they're programmed, what am I about? They're set to do a final salute, and then they roll off the screen and they sit on a little rest that's on the bulkhead. Oh well, you won't get to see it again because you're now in my lap. How's it feel? Look, you made me crunch my gear now. How do you feel about that? Oh. Well, at least you're not on the floor. I mean, you can really see the steering up close now, can't you? I'll see you at the shop. Yeah, there's Jessie at the range, and I drove into that space. And that's the thing, when you've got a car without power steering, and if you're like me, you plan ahead. You plan ahead and you park in an easy space that you can get out of easy. No reversing required, no steering required. One of my favourite pastimes coming to these shops is stroking the furry things. I love this, but I've already got one in red. Hairy balls. I ain't never seen birdseed called that before. I love buying worms. They're gross. There's so much stuff. Got a new cheapo hose adapter. That's not what I want. I want non-LED. Is there such thing anymore? I've got these bulbs, but I don't know if they're going to work. It's a bit fancy. Wow. Look how thick that tape is. Cool. That's the stuff I got to dye my carpets. The red one. $2.99. Bargain. So there we are. I've been to the range. I got a load of random stuff I didn't need, and the worst thing of all, they didn't have any candy floss. Oh, never mind. So I'm back home. I gave up recording me trying to steer the thing. Maybe I'll do another steering video when I've got the Allegro out or something, but yes, Jessie is filthy, disgusting. And I think there's no point in washing it really, because I think it might rain. And the Rover, both the Rovers, disgusting. I might wash Jessie, I might not, I don't know. I've got things to play with, so thanks for watching. Bye.